What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this. Miss Hustle, who's Remy Ma's ex-best friend, who is now friends with Clarissa Shields, had a battle yesterday against T-Top on Gnome 15. In this battle, T-Top called himself exposing Miss Hustle and Remy Ma's friendship and relationship by accusing her of allegedly messing around with Papoose and being the one responsible for giving Papoose the heads up on Eazy, by which Papoose ends up going to the battle and knocking him out. Now, just to clear up a lot of the rumors and things I know personally that's not true, because a lot of people who don't know what's going on and haven't been following this can get caught up in the sauce or lost in the sauce when it comes to hearing certain things you're not knowledgeable about, especially when he does such a good job as a battle rapper of convincing people of things even when it's not true. So he can actually cause doubt that could make you think about what's being said to the point that you would think that he actually telling the truth. So let's listen to what he said, and then we're gonna break some things down. So check this out, y'all.
I said, damn, Hustle. It just seemed like ever since Remy started dealing with Eazy, you've been hating hard. Turned your back on that girl in public like that ain't your dog. I mean, first you knew they business. Then she claimed that she ain't involved. But now the fact you doing shows with Clarissa explains it all. See, because you and Remy, what happened? What happened? Because you, explains it all. Because you and Remy was like family, how I feel. Now you fucking with our ops on camera, that's not real. Y'all taking pictures with your belts in the ring, big ass feet jammed in some high heels. And I know you're down with the riot, but there's no reason you should be standing behind shields. And you wouldn't have to. You shouldn't be standing behind shields, and you wouldn't have to wear it if the shoe ain't fit. Probably wanted Pat this whole time, bitch. You ain't slick. Because how you help her cheat, then tell on her for cheating? Dog, you ain't shit. I know Remy a Gemini, but you a two-faced bitch. Now, Remy, all that cheating shit, I'm not saying we condoning that shit, but respect and loyalty, man, she owe you that shit. You was backing her back when nobody noticed that bitch. Before the money and fame and before the woadies came. Man, fuck that. I got some shit I want to speak about. Because I feel like you fucked Papoose the same night he knocked Eazy out. Let's play Swear to God. Let's play Swear to God. Don't drop it. Don't get nervous. Let's play Swear to God. Let's play Swear to God. Swear to God you ain't take the picture of Eazy at Remy event and send a text to Pat. Swear to God he ain't pull up, knock Eazy out, and then you left with Pat. Oh, don't start lying, bitch. You was on Remy's side to switch. Probably because the lame ain't want to provide you dick. But I'm not surprised at sis. Because, ladies, here's the truth. You never trust a friend that's closer to your nigga than she is with you. All right? Because Remy got to your first apartment, bitch. You was all in your groove. It was the Red Lion complex. It was all on the news. Said they was luxury apartments. She had all of us food. We pulled the pictures up on Google. You should have saw the reviews. It wasn't funny. It was bummy. We was hardly amused because it was looking like the ape wasn't far from the zoo.
Okay. So right there what he said. So according to him, he said that it was Miss Hustle who took the picture. He said it was Miss Hustle who took the picture at Remy's event and sent it to Papoose, by which Papoose came to the event and knocked Eazy out. Okay, this is what we do know. And this is what I was trying to tell people. Notice the battle rap community. This all started in the battle rap community. This is why I'm trying to tell y'all. People outside this community do not know the truth at all. Everything they do is speculations. Everything that they saying is speculation, and they only going off of what's been released on the internet that they want you to know. But people behind the scenes who connected to each other, remember, Eazy is a battle rapper. Miss Hustle is a battle rapper. Remy Ma has a battle rap league. See what's happening here? And in these major events, no outside media is there. The Tasha K's them ain't there, and all these other MREC them and all these people, no disrespect to them in no type of way, but they're not there. They're not there. They don't have a clue. We do, though. Now, let's address some of the things that were said, because like I said, T-Top is one of the best battle rappers in battle rap, and he specializes off angling, and he has a lot of believability that even if it's a lie, he can make it sound true. Now, what's being said here, notice what he said. He said that it was Miss Hustle who took the picture of Eazy the Block Captain at the event. That Papoose got ended up coming to the event and knocking out Eazy. He said a lot, so let's just address some of it. Well, what we do know is that Remy and Papoose were together that day. They still live together. So according to Papoose, what he said the day of the event, they was at home together. He was already on the way there. She had to be there first because she had to prepare and get things ready early. She knew he was coming later. Now, if Miss Hustle did send a picture, it didn't matter because he was coming anyway. He was going to be there anyway. He was coming anyway. Now, I don't know how true that part is, that it was her who actually sent the pictures. But, you know, T-Top and them, they got ties with battle rappers too. And, you know, they talk amongst each other. He know who Eazy is. Eazy run his mouth and talk so much. There may be some type of truth in that, but that's not actually proven to be true. But it didn't even matter if it was true, because according to Papoose, he was on the way there anyway. He was on the way there anyway. But he did also say that somebody reached out to him and let him know that Eazy was there. See that? So I don't know. But it still wouldn't have mattered because he was coming anyway. He was there. He was coming anyway. Now, with that being said, he also make another statement and say, when Eazy got knocked out by Papoose, Miss Hustle left with Papoose. That's not true. We know that for a fact that that is not true. How do we know that? Well, we know that because Miss Hustle was on Spaces immediately when that happened. A little bit, not immediately when it happened, because she was still at the event. We have footage of her laughing, mocking Eazy getting beat up, and Papoose was already gone. She literally in the car on the passenger seat of the car where somebody else was driving, laughing, saying it ain't that easy, and it ain't that easy in the trenches. Is it easy? Mocking him or getting knocked out while the battle rap media is outside taking pictures and recording. And she was there, and Papoose was already gone. That wasn't true. See, the thing about T-Top is he may be mixing some truth in with lies, but we know for a fact that's not true. We also understand when you're going through something like that, Papoose' mind was somewhere else. Because the truth we do know was what? She was supposed to not been involved with Eazy no more. Because that was the agreement that they had made together with the therapist. That after the Hitman battle, she was supposed to cut all ties off with Eazy the Block, and they were supposed to work on their marriage. Now, this is after the Hitman battle. So for Papoose to find out, man, you still messing with him, his mind is somewhere else. And according to Papoose or what he said, he went home by himself and he was with his baby, who was crying for her mama for days because she ended up. Here's the thing y'all didn't know. Let me see. I'm always give y'all some things y'all didn't know. Listen, I want y'all to listen. Listen to this.
When I went through the process of dealing with what I was dealing with her, being in the house with my daughter crying night after night. She wanted a mother. All she knew was me and her mother. You gotta remember, COVID happened. It was just the three of us locked in the crib. We couldn't even go out. We lived in Manhattan at the time. So all my daughter know is us. So when she started to stop coming home so she could be with the lame, if you listen to the audio, he tells you. He's on the audio saying, she'd be at my house for days. Bragging. Talking to another individual on the phone, bragging about it. Yeah, she'd be over here at my house days at a time. So if you at his house days at a time, who's home with the baby? Me. Not only am I home with my daughter who's still a baby, I'm home with my daughter who's used to having her mother and her father, so she's crying every single night for you, and you're not answering the phone. So, dealing with that, raising my child night after night by myself while she with a clown, you know what I'm saying, who bragging to people, yo, I'm fucking his wife, the whole thing. I'm eating it because I'm...
Okay, right there. Notice what he said. The baby crying for her mama. She's gone days at a time. Eazy actually got a video talking about it, saying, yeah, she be with me. She at my house. Here's the thing. Not aware if Papoose knew this or not, but here's the thing. I know this from reliable sources who actually, listen, connected. We all, listen, that's how come I know so much of this. Eazy released something saying, if Papoose was really, he said, why they calling me the side nigga? You know what? Don't worry about it. I'm finna play it.
The recording, bro.
Something else in life. You didn't get through your hands between y'all was over. The fact that you snuck her quote unquote side nigga and she went with her side nigga explains everything.
Oh my God, bruh.
Okay. This is Eazy. Look what Eazy said. This explains everything. How am I her quote unquote side nigga? You snuck me, but she left with the side nigga. That right there explains everything. Did you hear what he said? He said, how am I Remy's side nigga? How am I the side nigga? If Papoose the one who actually supposed to be with her. He snuck me, but she left with the quote unquote side nigga. That explains everything. Basically, she with me, not him. But notice what he said. She left with me. Goes right back to what Papoose said. The baby is crying. You gone for days. What Papoose didn't know was when they was looking for her, Remy, remember he said, she not answering the phone. We calling her, she not answering the phone. She gone for days. Here's an inside secret for everybody. This is a fact. Remy Ma left out of the country with Eazy the Block Captain for 4 days. They went on a trip for 4 days. I think they went to Dubai or something like that, but they went out of the country for 4 days. The purpose of going out of the country so that the paparazzi couldn't see them together and take pictures and stuff, because this was now first being exposed and it was getting bigger and bigger through the media. They left out of town so that they could be able to walk around freely in another place of people who didn't know who they really were. Because she ain't really a big major star like that, celebrity like that. So she can go undetected, especially with sunglasses. You get what I mean? Her and Eazy is a nobody. They went out of town for 4 days. So when Pap, like, I'm calling, you not answering the phone, what Pap don't know is that they out of the country. I know that from reliable sources who tied in with him, that knew about their whereabouts when Papoose didn't know what was going on. And Remy felt more comfortable and safer out of the country than in the country, not knowing Pap whereabouts, because he had already whooped Eazy. And she know Papoose had connections also, and according to Remy, surveillances. So they left the country where they could actually be left alone and go undetected. And that's why Papoose making that statement. See, a lot of them don't know that. Y'all ain't heard nobody talk about that, have y'all? Not at all. They don't know that. We do, though. We do. And that's why all you gotta do is connect the dots. That's why he's saying this. This is exactly why Papoose is saying all this. Listen.
When I went through the process of dealing with what I was dealing with her, being in the house with my daughter crying night after night. She wanted a mother. All she knew was me and her mother. You gotta remember, COVID happened.
Why she crying night after night? Told you they was gone for 4 days. Remy wasn't answering the phone. Papoose was looking for her. She didn't come back home today after he beat up Eazy. Eazy just admitted she left and was with me. They left out of town. They went out of the country. He said night after night, my daughter was crying for her. What you mean night after night? This all just happened unexpectedly? Yeah, after you hit him. And then it was around the time of Eazy's birthday. Eazy actually even did a post talking about it, showing him by himself. He took a picture showing himself out of the country. He's like, I was out of the country for my birthday. Showed him by himself taking a picture. Then when Remy just recently got mad, when Clarissa Shields and Papoose were taking pictures, remember she called herself saying, I don't care, I'm happy, and showing all that collage she made of her and Eazy the Black Captain. Notice they was in robes overlooking some type of beach where the sun was out. They was out of the country. They was out of the country. That's what was happening. That's what those pictures were. I think they was in Cancun. Now that I think about it, they was in Cancun. I think Cancun, yeah. Because I also remember Remy saying something to the nature of, oh, my friend got a resort in Cancun. See what I mean? Come on now. That's why Pap was saying that. And then Pap go on and he get to saying this. Listen at this part.
When I went through the process of dealing with what I was dealing with her, being in the house with my daughter crying night after night. She wanted a mother. All she knew was me and her mother. You gotta remember, COVID happened. It was just the three of us locked in the crib. We couldn't even go out. We lived in Manhattan at the time. So all my daughter know is us. So when she started to stop coming home so she could be with the lame, if you listen to the audio, he tells you. He's on the audio saying, she be at my house for days. Bragging. Talking to another individual on the phone, bragging about it. Yeah, she be over here at my house days at a time. So if you at his house days at a time, who's home with the baby? Me. Not only am I home with my daughter who's still a baby, I'm home with my daughter who's used to having her mother and her father. So she's crying every single night for you. And you're not answering the phone.
She crying all night after night, and you're not answering the phone. Notice what he said too. Eazy is on a phone with another individual telling him that she with me at my house. No, she wasn't at his house. They was out of town. They were out of town. He said she left with me. You snuck me, her quote unquote side nigga, and she went with me and left with me. Right. They went out of the country. They went out of the country. So when Papoose said, I'm calling you, you're not answering the phone. Yeah. I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. I talked to the reliable source and behind the scene who actually, I'm the first one to release that before it even came out publicly. I'm the first one to release that information, and it hadn't even came out publicly. Papoose didn't even know. Now he do. Well, he knew then if he saw those videos. He didn't even know. So no, had nothing to do with Miss Hustle. Then he said something to the nature, you and Remy was friends. You, T-Top said, you and Remy was friends. How you help her cheat, then tell on her for cheating. That's not true. She didn't help Remy cheat with Eazy because that was a secret that Remy didn't want Hustle finding out, knowing. How do we know that? Because Eazy was crushing on Miss Hustle first. So that's something Remy didn't want Miss Hustle to know. Remy was crushing on Surf. Rock was with Lady Caution. You talking about gun titles. They battle rap crew that consists of Surf, Rock, Chess, and Eazy. The four guys that's involved in gun titles, right? So you had Surf, who Remy was crushing on because he was the leader. Remember, Remy go after the leaders. Surf was the leader over Rock, Chess, Eazy. Surf was the leader. He was the voice and face of battle rap. Remember, she's going after the leaders of battle rap to help her career. Help her battle rap league get off the ground. Surf has a bigger fan base, make more money than Eazy. So Remy was only dealing with Surf. They got love songs together and everything. And according to the women, Surf is more likable and more handsome than Eazy and them and all them. So he have a strong female fan base in battle rap. And the women is crazy about him. That's where you get the bosses and Tatis and them and things. They was all under Surf. Now, with that being said, Remy was going after Surf. She was courting Surf. Surf gets indicted. So Remy was courting Surf. Tay Rock is with Lady Caution. Chess is with his baby mama. Eazy was liking Miss Hustle. Eazy was crushing on Miss Hustle. That's how it was before Surf got indicted. We know facts of that. I played the audios and everything. That's how it was. Surf gets indicted. In the midst of him and Remy courting one another, he gets indicted. When he gets indicted, Rock, now he's the leader of gun titles, but again, he's with Lady Caution. They live together. Because at this time, let's just keep it real, gun titles is the most popular. No, they ain't more popular than Dot Mob, but they are the most in demand and most the people like them more. The people like them more, even though Dot Mob is the more popular because of Murder Mook, T-Rex, they like them. But the people, gun titles were in high demand for the most, So Surf get indicted. Now Remy stuck with Eazy, who now began to get even more bigger because Surf gone now. So Eazy skyrocket, and then he get from up under Rock wing and he let out that letter of resignation, letting it be known like I'm going my own way. Cause he buzzing now. He hot as a firecracker. So then Remy jump shift to Eazy. Cause now he his own man, he his own leader. See? So now he's the leader, he the leader of Gutter City. And his energy is hot right now. So he left the URL when he hot. He lead gun title, start his own thing, signed with Remy. There you have it. So that wasn't true. She wasn't helping him. They kept that from Hustle. Hustle was deceived. Hustle was betrayed. It was Remy who betrayed Hustle. I played that too. Wasn't the other way around, but T-Top doing this in a battle to try to make her look bad, because that's what battle rapper do. Battle rap do, they reverse it. If they know somebody did you wrong, then they'll reverse it against you and say you the one did them wrong. That's what he's doing. He's reversing what really happened. It was Remy who actually deceived and betrayed Miss Hustle, by which Miss Hustle and Clarissa Shields are friends as a result of that. And it was Remy who betrayed Papoose and Miss Hustle. Because Papoose did believe at one time Miss Hustle knew about what was going on because her and Remy were friends. But Hustle being friends with Remy, remember, Remy and Papoose relationships are tied into friendships. If you friends with Remy, you friends with Papoose. You friends with Papoose, you friends with Remy. So Papoose did believe to some degree that Hustle had something to do with what was going on with with Eazy and Remy, only to find out, no, that wasn't true. I didn't have nothing to do. I didn't even know about it. I don't even like the nigga as a result of what they did and all the backstabbing. And Papoose knew that to be true after everything else came out and everything. And they both was the ones who were betrayed by Remy. And why Miss Hustle and Papoose is still friends to this day, and Clarissa Shields and Miss Hustle was friends too. So no, Miss Hustle wasn't messing around with Papoose in any type of way. Just like Remy was her sister, Papoose was her brother. Remy snaked and betrayed both Hustle and Papoose. And that's why Hustle and Papoose still friends today. And she friends with Clarissa Shields too, who's Papoose's new fiance that he about to marry once the divorce is final, since the paperwork is in now. So nah, T-Top lied. He added all that other stuff. That wasn't true at all. With that being said, it's your boy Battle Truth. Ain't my judgment, that's some question. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth.